So for someone that's just wanting to get into photography, they have a little bit of time on their hands right now.
Yeah.
What are some basics as far as like gear, equipment to look into when you're first starting out?
It's a question I get a lot. People are always asking me, what camera should I get? What camera should I get? And really I always tell people that the best camera is the one that you have with you, or the one that feels comfortable in your hand. It's just starting out, you don't need to go and buy the biggest, baddest, fastest, best camera out there. Get something that works, whether that's going to be, anything from your iPhone to, like an SLR or whatever, the new mirrorless cameras. I can nerd gear all day, but really as long as you can take pictures with it and you have some amount of control over what the camera is doing, then it's going to work just fine for you, regardless of what you're doing.
So like if someone's using their iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
landscape?
It really depends. I'd recommend, I still have an old iPhone, but when I am using it, I try and download one of the apps that gives you a little bit of control over, white balance and some of the technical controls that the auto one doesn't necessarily have as easily available. But if that's the level of comfort that you have, then that's going to be fine. As long as you can take pictures with it, it's going to work just fine.
And like a physical camera, there's some that are like the point and shoot that have like the built-in flash.
Yep.
How do you feel about built-in flash? Or
I mean, I don't really get too snobby about gear. For years back in the transitional period between film and digital, my first digital camera was a little point and shoot, and I carried it with me everywhere, and I shot pictures with it all the time. I took thousands and thousands of photos with this crappy little 2-megapixel Canon ELPH.
my first was a Mavica with the floppy
well,
disk.
yeah. Yeah, the 3 1/4 discs. Those
Yeah.
are great. Yeah, the school owned those because they were really expensive. The first one that I owned was this, crappy little Canon one. Which actually the first one I bought, I was really proud of it, and I left it in the back seat of a taxi cab in New York. And I still catch crap about that from my dad who helped me pick the camera out. And that was, 15 so years ago. But to answer your question, really, like whatever you have with you, whatever camera, whether it's I shoot with big Canon SLRs. I'm a Canon shooter. Some people are Nikon people, and people like to have butt heads and argue about which one of those is better. It doesn't matter. Like as long as it takes pictures and you like it and you like using that camera, it's going to work fine for you.
And like people are able like use eBay or whatever to search around, maybe find a deal for a starter.
I would probably buy, if I were starting out and I wasn't really sure, I would buy a used, slightly older camera than buying a more expensive, newer camera, because you're going to learn a lot when you start taking more pictures, and you'll learn what kinds of things you like and don't like, because you might not know yet. And so don't blow all your money right away. Like wait until you have a better idea what you want, and once you've been doing it for a little bit, you'll have a better idea of what kind of gear you're looking for, and you'll be able to make that decision better on your own.
It's something that you can start small with and be additive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, that crappy little point and shoot, I shot thousands and thousands of photos, and by the time I finally got my hands on a big, full frame DSLR, I was ready to go start doing some damage with it, because I knew what the capability limitations of that little camera were, and I knew what I was going to be able to do when I had the big, cool, fancy one.
Yeah, I've heard like horror stories of people that like buy like all the equipment, and then they take one picture, don't know what they're doing, and stop.
Right. Yeah.
Right, like build onto it as you
Sure.
go.
Yeah, absolutely.